this session, can also have the privilege of listening in and just learning from what we were able to discuss here. But of course, we encourage people to just join, because your question could be different from the questions that we're going to discuss here today. And that question can only be answered if you're able to join and ask it directly. Yeah. So I'm here with my my colleague Angelo. Angelo, maybe you can also just introduce yourself as we start. Angelo, you can take it away.
Good evening, colleagues. I don't know, Daniel, can I be heard?
Yes, sir. Loud and clear.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you all for joining. My name is Angelo. I'm an advocate. I went through this program when I was at the Kenya School of Law. Since then, I have been a member. I even joined the like of Daniel even before I got my CLE results. So it is a program that we usually encourage people. Even we have a few from the last cohort who will be joining us. We don't charge anything. So we take you through, we prepare you for orals, we also prepare you for bar exams, and then we pray to God and assist however we can. So this is an inaugural session whereby we will show you a few ropes here and there before we actually commence the sessions. So that's all I can say for now. Asanteni sana. Thank you. Daniel.
Thank you so much, Angelo. Yeah, so I've been working closely with Angelo. I think 2 groups now. The group after Angelo, and I think this one will be Angelo's second group. Now, we had this session when Angelo was in KSL, and it was a good time. He was one of the guys who always stood out. He always answered questions. He always had questions here and there, and I think that was great, Angelo. And so Angelo is one of us, and he's such an active member. You'll see sometimes we'll have session, and it'll be the one who is leading you and guiding you diligently and well. He's such a good teacher. So thank you so much. Now he's an advocate, the way he has said, and all is well. And so we've been able to, together with Angela, we've been able to see fruits coming out of these sessions that we have now. One of the reasons why we decided to have these sessions is because of what we went through and what we saw. For me personally, I was the first person from my family to, I think, go through KSL. I have a brother who did law, but I don't think he went through KSL. And so after hearing all these rumors about KSL, nobody makes it in KSL. Oh, if you go to KSL, that's when things get real. Oh, forget about university. That was not tough. KSL is serious. Things are really hard over there. And so we joined with so much panic. I joined with so much panic. And there was no one to answer my questions. There was no one to lead me. There was no one to ask even any single question, because nobody knew, nobody had gone through it. And so I had to struggle through all these anxieties and balance that with studying and still do this and that and still make it through this journey. And when I was done, and I think even Angelo, after he was done, we realized that it's very important that we just create a platform where all these questions can be answered, that you have people who have gone through KSL who can tell you, guys, I know you've had this and this, but actually, this is how KSL is. This is how it works. This is how things go. So the reason as to why we're having this session today is just for purposes of giving you the information that you need. Now, for us to be able to give you that information, it means that you have to ask. You have to ask us, what's on your mind? What have you heard? What would you like us to tell you about? What would you like to know? Now, I know that probably you've had a session with the lecturers and they've told you this and that, but maybe you're not able to ask a few questions here and there. Now, me and you are just the same. I know that probably I've gone through KSL and now I'm an advocate, but at least we are able to relate. So you are able to ask me any question whatsoever. Another thing that we also encourage in this group is that just be free, man. Like, we are friends. We are friends. You can ask me anything. I'm not your lecturer. I can't do anything about your exams. I can't do anything about anything. So there's no stupid question. There's no brilliant question. Of course, maybe some are, but you're free. You're free to ask any questions. We are here to guide you. We are here to answer your questions, honestly, with the truth, and not to scare you or to make you panic in any way whatsoever. We are here just to help, nothing else. And we're doing this for free. Please don't allow anyone to come in and tell you, oh, you need to pay this amount of money if you want to attend the next class, or you need to do this and that. Nah, our sessions are for free, and you don't have to pay anything. And that's why I'm telling you that you can ask any question. You won't be wasting anyone's time. You won't be wasting anyone's intellect. You won't be doing anything that is wrong. So please, in this session, I'd like us all to be free and to ask any question that you might have concerning KSL that until today has not been answered. So basically, that's what we'll be doing today, and just telling you what worked for us and what didn't really work. And so I think for me, I'll begin with then maybe Angelo, you can take it after that. So for me, honestly, when I joined KSL, I had a lot of worries, because when I was at UON, the people who are above us would come to school and tell us, oh, you're worried about PIL because, this professor FDP is telling you, oh, fools don't pass and whatever. You've not seen the real deal. KSL is mad. KSL is crazy. And so we were worried about that. If KSL is harder than what I'm going through right now, then will I really make it? And there was again these rumors about the 9 Ps. Oh, it's very hard to get 9 Ps on one sitting. It's crazy. People don't make it. People don't make it, and this and that. Maybe you'll get 5 Ps. You'll miss. Even me, I did it. I got 8 Ps, and I just missed one, and I didn't graduate. And you'll get all these stories, people bombarding you with this and that and trying to make this look as if it's such a hard tussle. Well, for me, I think it wasn't as serious as what I was told. Yes, it's serious. You have to put in the work. You have to work hard. But one thing that I believe is if you are able to reach here, if you're able to join KSL and you're able to make your application and they've accepted your application, it means that you can do it. You are a candidate who can do it and not just a candidate who is going to fail. Angelo sat for his exams the first time and he got his 9 Ps. It's the same way for you. It's a possibility. You can sit your exams for the first time and get your 9 Ps. I sat for my exams the first time, and by the grace of God, I got the 9 Ps. You can also sit for your exams the first time. And the reason why I talk about these stories is just to show you that it is possible. It's not impossible to do it. It is possible, and you can do it. All you need to do is to put in the work, trust in yourself, forget about the anxieties. Of course, they come here and there, but just focus on what you can control. And what you can control is reading, going to the library, having discussions, having an open mind, trying to understand what you don't understand, just putting in the work. I'm telling you, I can promise you that if you put in the work, and I'm not saying that you don't even sleep, you have no time to relax, or you can't even watch a football game during the weekends, or you can't even, you have to change your schedule totally, that your life has to change. Now you're in KSL. You have to put in the work the same way you used to put in the work at the university level, and maybe even more than that, but it's not hell. That's one thing it's not hell. It's not this place where things just don't work. That's not it. However, you have to put in the work. I'd like us to underline that. You have to at least know what's going on. At least if the lecturers ask a question, at least to know how to answer that particular question. If you find yourself in a situation where you don't even know what to say, you don't even know where to start from, then at least that should tell you something, that maybe you should put in more work. Another thing that I realized is you won't know the answer to all the questions, but at least be in a position where you know something. Like, those guys who at least there's something you can go down with if things are bad. at least be in that particular position. Don't be in a position where you don't know what's happening, you don't even know who your lecturer is, you don't even know when the last class was, you don't even know, you have no idea at all. Now, if you try that, then maybe it might not work for you. But maybe you're so brilliant it will work for you. However, I think it's safe that at least you know, just know what's happening and just put in the work. But all the same, it's not hell. It is possible. You can do it. You guys are excellent people, and you are able to understand what is happening there. And it's something that can be done. Now, I know at KSL, we learn more about practice than, you know, the substantive law and what the laws are saying, what the constitution is saying about this and everything else, you know, contract and whatever. However, you still find this applicable, because how are you going to draw a plaint if you don't even know the supporting law? So it won't be something that is totally out, away from that you won't need it at all. I think that foundation is still quite important. However, just prepare yourself for classes where you'll be learning how to apply what you know. And the advantage with that is that at least you know something. You're just learning how to apply it. So people like to say that it's totally a new experience, but I think for me, I like to say that it's a season where you take your experience to the next level. Why do I say this? It's a season where you take what you know and learn how to apply that which you know. So you're not starting from zero, basically. You're just improving what you know. Now you know about PIL. PIL says you have to do this and this and this and this. These are the laws. If this country has an issue, this and this happens. If it's this and this happens. But now, how do you apply it? So it's just moving ahead. It's moving ahead to the next level. It's not a whole new experience starting from zero. And it doesn't matter how good you are in university or how easy that was for you. Not really. Not really. So I want to believe and I want to hope that you guys will do it. Please, one thing that worked for me was reading the notes. If you can, sometimes just get the notes and just read them. The same way you did in university, just read them. Civil litigation, what is the procedure? If you want to draft a plaint, how do you do a plaint? How do you do it? How do you reply to a plaint? Now, when you start, these words can seem very foreign and very new, but I'll tell you, you get used to it with the time. A time will come when, you hear about a plaint and you're like, fine. Yeah, I know what that is. You hear about this, you hear about that, and you're like, fine, I know what that is. So just get ready. Just get ready to learn. And don't be worried so much. Just get ready to learn. Put in the effort and you will do it. Now, another thing that I'd like to talk about is orals. Again, there's a lot of pressure surrounding this. The fact that you'll be standing before these lecturers who you probably do not even know, and they're throwing questions at you, and you have to answer these questions. I'd like to tell you that there are guys who have done orals and gotten 19. They got 19 out of 20. It's a possibility. It is something that has happened. It's not, I'm not giving you stories of Jabba here or rumors. It's something that has actually happened. And I believe that even for you, you can do it. Again, when you go for orals again, the law is so broad. There's so much to learn from. But one thing that I can always say is at least try and understand what is happening in every unit. Try and understand. You see, if one good thing with us lawyers, we are able to build up on an answer, or we're able to come up with an answer if we understand at least the root of your question. You don't have to tell me exactly what the answer is to my question, but if I understand that at least you have a dent of where I'm coming from, it's encouraging. If I was to give you 18, if I was to give you 9, if I understand that you know where I'm coming from, at least I'd give you a 15, because you understand the question that I'm asking. You understand what I mean. So for orals, please just try and know what's happening all around. There are 9 units. That could seem like it's a lot, but if you start early enough, and if you have questions, you can always reach out to me. You can reach out to Angelo. I think you'll be comfortable enough. Now, just to cap it off, One thing I can tell you guys is that it's not an impossible journey. People have done it, and you guys will be able to do it. I don't say this to make you guys complacent and to make you guys just chill and not do anything at all. I'm saying this just to encourage you to work hard and to know that even as you work hard, you'll be able to do it. It's not an impossible task. It's not hell. It's not, this craziest point of life. However, you have to put in the work and you will be able to see the results. You can do it. It's possible. You can do it. So don't let anything scare you. Don't let people tell you all this crazy stuff. And you have your story. I have my story. Someone else have their story. We make our own stories at KSL. And I believe that from the day you joined, you started making your own story. And I believe that you can make a good story. Put in the work, you'll be able to get the results that you need. That's all I can say for me. Angelo, maybe from your side.
Thank you, Daniel. Welcome again, colleagues. Mine, I will take a few minutes. There's one thing I told our colleagues from the recent cohort, the ones that we just did their exams. I actually say two things, not one. For those who are studying, let's say, physical classes, I have always said, at least if the security guard at the Kenya School of Law knows you, such that ukiingia at the gate asubuhi anakusalamia, then tayari umepata your 9 Ps. Equally, if do we call them cook or chef, those ones who work at the cafeteria, if you have a friend there, you already have your 9 Ps. So the question will be, utaenda nyumbani na 10 Ps? That is the fundamental question. Because it means that if these people know who you are, then there is high chances that whatever you do at the Kenya School of Law, umekuwa ukisoma. And by the way, Council of Legal Education, they don't set exam to fail us. All they want is just the effort, okay? You see, for me, I finished university in 2019. And then because of one reason or the other, I thought maybe I didn't need it at the time. My head was so full of, I want to go to United Kingdom, I want to go to Harvard, I want to go and do LLM. And you know what, I just want environmental law, natural resources, and things like that. So I thought it wasn't actually relevant at the time. But after some time, I actually came to find that, without this postgraduate diploma, then it means that I have wasted my 4 years at the university. So that is when now I said, you know what, let me go to KSL. And I started reading from there. I planned my time well. Okay, I have gone to Hornbill. For those people who are told that unaenda huko unakula ugali mayai, we were among those people who some politicians were referring to in the famous Rongai city. Maybe there are residents there. Okay, but the point is, CLE is simple, is easy. Okay, don't sleep, by the way. When I say so, maybe you nilipita, but it is not that easy, but it needs you to give that particular effort, show that you can do it. Okay, like you now being here instead of being at Hornbill. Unfortunately for you guys, 1824 ilienda. I saw it on Twitter, or it is called X nowadays. So you can enjoy yourself, you can interact, because by the way, Kenya School of Law is the best place. You will meet mature people, you will also meet different type of people, but you will network. But this is 1 year that you also need to dedicate, because CLE examinations is one of the exams that you will consider like your examination, your examination, the examination that will determine your life. Okay, as an advocate, you have passed your LLB, or you have passed your Form 4, you have equally passed your KCP, but this one, as an advocate, you really need to do it once. I know all my colleagues when hawakupata 8Ps, 9Ps, they are still struggling to maybe pass that conveyancing. Okay, but if you do it at first, passing starts now. Do your project work well. After that, try your best. Mungu wako akusaidia umalize orals vizuri, you get your 15 and above. Thereafter, Mungu ataamua huko kwa bar exams. So it starts now. Okay, we will guide you through. We will try our best to ensure that you are well equipped when you will be facing your panelists, and also when you will be facing the bar. So I believe, Daniel, this is all I could say for now, because I believe from the questions, then we'll have more that we can highlight. That's all, guys. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Angelo. Thank you so much for the good words. Thank you so much for that encouragement. So, guys, this is either going to be a very quick session or a very long session, depending on you guys. So maybe we can have OJ and verified. Maybe we can have questions, and please shoot from whatever angle, whatever question you have, just ask us. We've gone through it, and at least we have experience. So you can ask anything. Me and Angelo will be taking turns at answering, but please, today we are here to answer all those questions. So please take advantage of this chance and just ask anything, whatever. Chef Kemoy, I see your hand is raised. Maybe you can go first.
Thank you and good evening. My name is Naomi, and thank you so much for such a platform where we can get to hear from you. But my question goes to Angelina. Yes, I'm sorry, but I said it wrongly. But he has focused so much on the people who are going there physically. What does he have to say about the people who are studying online? And apart from studying online, they're also working.
All right. Thank you, Naomi. Or is it Naomi? Actually, this is a very good question for Daniel, because he did his KSL online. But I have also known a lot of my friends who also did their KSL online. But I believe, Daniel, you can answer this. I was in a physical class.
Thank you. Yes, Angelo. I was in, we did virtual. For us, it was virtual because it was during the COVID time, so we were not able to go to school physically. So most of our classes, or rather all our classes, were virtual, apart from the prayer day and everything else, and the exams, we had to go to school. Now, Naomi, I think for me, I'd answer your question in a very simple manner. You see, sometimes when you're doing anything virtually, what really matters is your dedication and your commitment. Now, I'm not saying that it's bad to do online classes. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. But as the older age goes, the more freedom you have, the more responsibilities you have, Naomi. So if you will be responsible enough, if you are able to maybe set time and say that in the morning I have work, but then in the afternoon, I have some space, so I'll study from, let's say, 2 to, I don't know, 4 or whatever time that you want to study. Then in the evening, I have classes, or I'll have classes in the afternoon. That even in the evening, I will study. And I'm not saying you have to study every single day. Some of us are so brilliant. We don't have to study every single day, and we still know what's going on. We're still able to catch up on what is happening. So it calls on you to be more responsible and to be more committed, but it doesn't mean that it is impossible. We were able to do it. And I think for me, what worked for me is in the morning, and for me, Naomi, I think maybe my story would be a bit different from yours. I was not working then. I was just focusing on KSL. So we used to have classes in the morning, and sometimes we had classes in the afternoon. But what I'd do is every time we had classes in the morning, I'd use the morning. And for me, I didn't have to wake up at 5, I don't know, at 6 to read or whatever before the classes, unless there was an assignment and I didn't do it during the weekend because of this and that. But we used to have class, I think, starting from 9. And so for me, I mean, men take quite fast to get ready for classes or to get ready to go out. I'd wake up maybe at 8:10 or 8 or even 8:30, and by 9 I'd be in class because our cameras were not on. I didn't have to, wear nicely or whatever. And I'd go through the classes in the morning, and in the evening from 2, I'd study all the way until 5. Now, I'm not saying that you have to do this every day. Sometimes things come up. Sometimes there are things that you have to do. So there are days that I actually didn't study, but I looked for ways of how to come back and, ensure that I cover those particular days. So for me, when we had classes in the morning, I'd read in the evening. If we had classes in the evening, I'd take the morning to read. Now, things would come in here and there. I'd still attend to them. But when I came back, I put in a lot of effort to ensure that I'm still at par with the other students, and I know what is happening. Now, I know the scenario is different if you have work. Most of my friends who are at KSL and had work at least worked in the morning and were free in the afternoon. So what I remember they did was that in the afternoon when they were free, maybe from 2 to around 4 before they joined the classes, or until 5 before they joined the classes, they'd study. They'd take that time to study. Now, I don't know if it's possible to work from 8 to 5 and still go through KSL and make it. But I think if you are to do that, because I've not done it, if you are to do that, then at least you'd still have to create some time to study. As maybe your weekends would be for studying, or maybe you'd be sleeping late and or waking up early. But I think it's doable. You can do it, but it calls on you to be more committed. So it's just about commitment, Naomi. To just cut it short, it's about commitment. If you're committed enough, you'll be able to do it. But you have to be committed. It doesn't mean that it's impossible and you can't do it, but you have to be committed. Donna, I see you've joined. The question that we have from Naomi is that she's asking, Angelo made a point that for you to at least get the 9 Ps, you have to be at school physically. At least the guards should know you, or the people helping us clean there should know you. And so she was wondering, what if you're doing virtual classes? Will it still work? And what if you're doing virtual classes and you still have work? Maybe what would be your answer to that question?
Okay, good afternoon, class of 2024. My name is Donna. I was in the previous cohort. So for the question that Naomi asked, well, for me, I used to work, but I was in the physical class. Just from morning to noon, I would go to work and then I'd go to class in the afternoon. But really don't think that the guys have to know you, but kama lazima uko unajiamini, because one thing about KSL, you can't go through kama haujasoma. There's no two way about it. You just have to read whether you like it or not for you to get the 9 Ps. So working for me, I'd say was a bit hectic because I could only do it in term 1. And even that, like working half day, was heavy. Unapata, we've been given project work. You're supposed to meet, you have class presentations, you need time to read. Kazi pia ndo hiyo iko. But it is also not difficult if you know yourself as a person. If you can balance all that, like school, work, and your personal life, then you can go for it. But I'd advise you just focus on school entirely. So it's just 9 months, but if you must work, because we understand not everyone is being provided for by the parents. So if you must, then just try and find a balance. Yeah, balance between work, school, and life. Yeah, make sure you have at least in each, because if you focus more on one side, you'll stand to lose on the other. That's what I say on that.
Thank you so much, Don. I think that's very, very accurate. So yeah, now it goes back to commitment. How committed you are. If you're very committed, yeah, you can do it. But if you know yourself and you need to free up some space, you can free up space. And yeah, there's no problem with doing online classes, virtual classes. You can do it. You just have to create time to study. Naomi, maybe have we answered your question? Oh, Angela, you want to say something?
Yes, I want to add something.
Yes.
Yes, I know a few people, a few of my colleagues. Actually, one of them became best student in commercial transaction during my time. She was in class F, that is an online class. She used to work, but now she would work in the morning, then in the afternoon she will attend her classes. So it depends with the person or the individual how you will plan your activities, because it is all about time management. And last time I remember, Donna, we referred you to those best perform, worst perform, and you realize for sure the worst perform paper, that person has actually not read. Okay, so that is how you actually measure yourself. You say that you can see how well you are doing or how bad you may be doing. So to that extent, for example, Donna here was our star student, and there's another one called Elim. They will be joining us. Okay, and you see, she got her 9 Ps. Here she is. She wants to give back to the society. By the way, they are not related. I can see Daniel is also Odur and Donna is Odur. They are not related, just for the record. But we will encourage you and we will be with you in this journey. So that is all. You can still work and get your 9 Ps. It has happened before. I know of a colleague of mine who was working. He had 84 in civil litigation and was among top students at the Kenya School of Law. So don't leave your job, but if you want to focus in studying, then you just focus on KSL, because anyway, KSL ni kazi. It is hectic the way Donna say. So that is all on my part, Daniel. Thank you.
Thank you. Naomi, you okay? You're good?
Yes. Thank you so much.
Okay. So I know you'll make your decision moving forward. But yeah, if you're committed enough, you can do everything. Everything is possible. But that's our opinion on it. Perpetual, maybe you can go ahead. Then we'll have OJ after you. There's another hand that is raised. Go ahead.
Hello. Thank you for taking your time, you guys, to give us this opportunity and to just mentor us through this, because you've highlighted some of the things that most of us are worried about. Frankly speaking, personally, the anxiety was high. I'm kind of healing right now. Lol. Anyway, so my question is about working. I am a bit conflicted on starting to apply for internships which would extend to pupillage potentially, and just focusing on studies for the moment. And I know I have had a lot of the advocates who've gone through this advising us to send in our applications for pupillage early, because it's scramble and partition, and so how early is early? Should I divide my attention right now, or when should I just start the applications for the pupillage? And what can you say about the opportunities and the scramble and everything for pupillage? Yeah, so that your experiences as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Angelo, you'd like to take that?
Yes, thank you, Daniel. I will take that. Personally, I was the professional interviewee. I don't know if that is a title, but it is something that happened to me when I was applying for pupillage. And is that perpetual? Yes, your question is in the affirmative, in the sense that pupillage is another hectic procedure or program at the Kenya School of Law. The earlier you secure it, the better. I know last time, Daniel, did you had a different opinion on this? But for me, I am of the view or opinion that if you can get it early, the better, such that you can put that to bed, okay, at once. For example, I understand farms like Bowman's, they do advertise in February, so maybe the applications will be closing soon. Then at the same time, do you see yourself as a top tier guy, or any farm will be good for you? Because the farm that quote unquote call themselves top tier, they will advertise early in the year. Okay, so for me, I would advise, if it is better, if you can really secure a pupillage position early, go for it, because I know a lot of, or most of advertisement will come when you will be almost nearing your exams in August there, or in July or in June. You will be having your, maybe preparing for orals, or maybe preparing for bar exams, and then you are also trying to secure a pupillage position. So if you can get it early, the better. At least now you are focusing, or maybe, I don't know if your project work is out yet, but if not, if you can get it early, then I can say go for it. Apply early, get it early, because I have known people who are really stressed in getting a pupillage position. Also, it is not just about getting a pupillage, maybe something that will earn you something, because the applications that will be out when maybe after you are done with your exams are those one maybe in CBD, or those one will pay you 15,000. But there are places whereby you can really get paid well, because it is a job. You will be working there for a year. So yeah, that is my view. Thank you.
Thank you. Donna?
Okay, for pupillage, I think if you desire to work in these top tier firms, then you should just start applying the moment they advertise. So it depends with personal preferences. For some of us like me, we had the stories that, oh, these big farms, what, and I don't know, I never had the desire. But if you want to work in the big farms, I'd rather you start looking early, as it's better you finish KSL kama unajua that you have a place secured, because getting pupillage is another tough task. So you just apply, you'll get regrets or you'll be successful, and yeah. So you can just start looking if you want, or if you have an assured place, then well and good.
Yeah, so I'll just cap it off. I want to agree with, I want to associate myself with what the people have spoken before me have said, what Angela said and what Donna has said. Guys, one thing that I can tell you guys is this: there's a problem with pupillage. Yeah, there's a problem, and I think if there's a problem, it's always good to start dealing with it earlier than waiting and dealing with it late. I don't know, whatever your preference is, whatever advertisement that you see for pupillage, just apply. I think that would be my advice. Just apply. Whatever you get, you will get. And if you get an okay from a farm that you don't like and you want to move up, keep applying until you get the farm that you really want. But one thing I can say, Faith, is just start as early as you can. You see an application, apply. See an application, apply. The earlier you get your chance, the better for you. So just apply. Nothing stops you. Even if someone says no, it will not kill you. But every situation you get, any application you get, any chance you get, just apply. Now, I don't mean that you spend all your time at KSL applying for pupillage. No, just apply for pupillage and hope you get a chance. But focus on your education, because you can't imagine a situation where you're going to Bowman's for pupillage, but you have 8 Ps, man, or things didn't work out for you. So just have it on the side and just apply. You see those applications that you usually just make make those applications, but don't have it at heart. Don't have it so much in your mind. Just make the applications. Whatever you get, you'll get, and life goes on. It's a problem. Yes, the earlier you start, the better, but don't let it be the main thing that you're doing. Focus on the studies, have it on the side, make every application that you can make. I believe and I trust that you'll get something out of it. Faith, does that answer your question?
Yes, that answers the question. Just a quick follow-up question. So applications for pupillage, it's highly likely that you would have to start working before taking the bike exams and before next year, probably depending on what the law firm requires, right? So that would mean you'd have to prepare yourself even when making the applications to like start working, because depending on what the firm wants, they could want someone to start working like immediately or in the next month or something. Yes. So, or could one apply for pupillage and get a spot in advance, then like join later? Like, what is the process like? So, if you're advising us to like start applying now, does that mean we have to like prepare for any outcome if you have to work immediately, something like that? Yeah.
Okay, so I want to believe that just like job interviews, when you make an application, you might be asked when, oh, Angelo, sorry, I see you wanted to answer. Go ahead, Angelo.
Yes. To the best of my knowledge, most firms, they will actually advertise pupillage 2024. So most of the firms you will begin in January of 2024. Oh, we are in 2024, January of 2025. Okay. But one firm that you may work before you do your bar exams will be Anjawala. But most firms, it is very clear, they will be advertising for the positions of the pupillage program 2025 because it is a yearly program. So, but for those who will maybe be lucky to get positions at Anjawala, there are high chances that you will be required to maybe work toward, will it be term 3 or thereabout? That is what I know. But for the rest, it will be 2025.
Okay, great. That clears all the doubts I had. Thank you so much.
Okay, but Faith, I hope you've also underlined something Angela said. Most, yeah. I think he was very careful when he was using the word most. So most, underline most.
Yes, yeah, thank you.
Correct. I have not said all.
All, yeah. He hasn't said all, yeah.
Yes, and then I don't know that the program is being recorded, Daniel. This
I'm
is something
recording.
I would like to have maybe told the previous team. If let's say, for example, you have maybe influential relatives or parent or something, actually, this is high time that they should assist you because I have seen people suffer. It is not easy as you think. So if you can get someone who can call someone, I hope I'm not being quoted, but yes, that is the reality out here. Or am I dreaming, Daniel?
No. Any help you can get, guys. Any help you can get. If you're able to get it that way, yes. If you're not privileged, just start making the applications. So Angelo is not lying at all. Okay, Faith, that's okay?
Yes, that is okay. Thank you so much.
Welcome, Faith. OJ, go ahead.
Oh, hi guys. Thank you so much for taking this time to advise us. And my question would be on revising the 9 units that we are taking. So like you guys have had the experience, I would just like to know, like, do you consider some units heavier than the others? Do you advise that we pay like more attention to some units more than others? And if someone has to come up with the revision plan for the 9 units, how would you advise like we plan our revision sessions here?
Thank you. Donna, you just got your 9 Ps the other day. How did you do it? Maybe you can answer, OJ.
Hi, OJ. So on that, I won't advise you to put some units aside, but okay, there are those units that obviously you'll have to give more attention. For example, commercial. But for us, okay, we used to be like, units like, for example, professional ethics, legal writing. You say, oh, the unit is not so heavy, so hakuna haja ku revise. But hell on us, the legal writing paper was, I don't know. So I'd advise you don't focus too much on other units and leave the rest out. Sometimes you may think that LPM is not difficult, and then exam it will be shock on you. So just ensure you allocate time for all units. So there are those units that obviously you'll have to put more effort. Plus, there are units that you understand better than others. So these ones that you don't understand easily, make sure you put a lot of focus on them. But don't usibague units. Yeah, you can be shocked. Obviously, the units you need to focus on the C's, yeah, plus legal writing at this rate, and just all units. Just make sure you allocate time for them. At least touch each unit every week. That's what I can say. Hakuna unit ngumu, hakuna unit rahisi.
Thank you, Donna. Angelo?
All I can say is that I have nothing useful to add. It is just like the way Donna said it, all units are important. Last time I warned people to really consider the units that they say that they are not technical, like let's say professional ethics, trial advocacy, which is the other one, LWD, which is the other one, Probate and Administration, PNA, and then the other one. But if you see the results of those of Donna, you will realize actually a lot of people failed professional ethics. Okay, but it is because of the people say, you know what, I will cram the SOPEC, or I will cram the, let's say, last minute, something like that. I will just get slides. Please don't ignore. And these things are why they can actually cause you trouble when you will decide to read them towards the exams. Just start early, start preparing your own personal notes. It will make your life really, really easy when you'll be studying for bar. And you see, you don't have the privilege that we had. Also, Donna did not have the privilege that we had. You guys, the program is just 9 months, and you will do your bar exams by the end of the year. That is November. Okay, unless another COVID comes, but if not, you will do your exams by the end of the year. So actually you are studying like right now. You only have 9 months for the program and then exams in November. So that's all I can say, Daniel. Thank you.
Thank you. So guys, just to cut it short, all the units are important. Now I know this would sound so challenging if all the 9 units are important. You see, at least university would say that, I know this one is not so hard. I don't have to read it so much. I don't have to. And I don't want to say it's not the same here. It's the same. But for you to know what you need to read so much and what you don't need to read so much, you have to read so much. You get, at least you have to scratch the surface. You know, for me to say that, I'm okay with professional ethics, it means I've read it. So, but there are guys who wait for Angelo to tell them that professional ethics is so easy, everybody will pass it. And then they decide not to read. Angelo made that decision because Angelo has read professional ethics. And you're making a decision based on what Angelo did. Now, when you're going for exams, Angelo will not give you his mind. You'll go there with your mind that knows nothing about professional ethics. So that's why we don't want to make assumptions and to tell you guys, read this, don't read this. Read professional ethics in your own time, with your own mind. Is it easy for you? What do you need to read and what do you need to leave out? How much time do you need to give it? Looking at it and looking at how your mind is understanding everything else. And then that will help you to make a decision on knowing, professional ethics, I've read it so much, I know that now I can read something else. The only reason as to why you'd say that a competition is so easy is if you have done it. There's so many people who will say a competition is easy and they've not done it at all. And if you give them a chance to do it, then they can't even do it. They can't even start. So the best advice that we always give, read it enough. If you read it enough, you'll know whether you need to put more effort into it or you should not. Please don't make your decision based on what someone else has told you. If you read professional ethics enough, you'll know whether it's easy or it's not. But don't make a decision on what I've told you. If you read LWD enough, you'll know whether it's easy for you as a person. And so you don't need to read it so much. If you read criminal litigation enough, you'll know whether it's easy for you and you don't need to focus on it so much. The reason that's why sometimes we worry so much about these things is because of what we've heard, what Daniel said, what Angelo said. One thing that I'd like us to do is I want us to create our own story this year when you start. Read these topics enough, you'll know what you need to put in more time into and what. And today I'd tell you commercial litigation is so hard. Then you start reading it, and in a month you've read everything, and you're wondering, what did Daniel say? And so you create something in your mind that, oh, maybe I'm not the one understanding what I'm reading. Maybe I'm reading my own things. Maybe I'm so daft. This thing is hard, but to me it's so easy. Man, I don't know. I don't know how you're wired. I don't know what is easy for you. So what I'd say, again, just to repeat, if you read these units enough, you will know what you need to read so much and what you should not read so much. And so that's why the first days of your study is quite important. But one thing that I know, again, this is only my speech, that the 4 C's, you have to read them. I don't think you have an option there. However, we have exceptions. We have guys who are so brilliant. They don't need to read criminal litigation or civil litigation so much. They're so brilliant. Well, you'll only know that if you read enough. So again, read and read enough. It will help you make that particular decision. My story could be different and yours could be different. But for the 4 C's, at least look out. At least read those ones. I think for me, that's what I'd say. So read enough. And reading enough would help you know what you need to read. And it's not rocket science. Whatever you're reading, whatever you're understanding it, you are brilliant enough. Just try and or at least also answer questions during the class so that you know whether you are actually understanding or you are understanding your own things. Okay, that would be my answer. OJ, does that work for you?
Yes, thank you. Can I just add another follow-up question? There's been a lot of hearsay about CLE, that CLE can sometimes surprise us by setting things outside our course outlines. So is it true? Should we confine our revision within our course outlines, or should we read like beyond our course outline? Yes.
Okay, Angela, then Donna.
Okay, thank you, Daniel. OJ, that is a very good question. Reason being, even during our time, there were issues like that, or maybe a fallacy. I call it a fallacy, because I can assure you this thing, it is done by 2 great institutions, that is Kenya School of Law, the product of an act of parliament, and at the same time, the CLE, Council of Legal Education. They sit together. So the course outline that you have been given, that is where the exams will come from. I don't think, okay, I have done a lot of revision. Daniel, maybe you will correct me, but I haven't seen a question that is said outside. But there is one area, maybe trial advocacy, because there's this emerging area called alternative dispute resolution. By the way, they do teach it. Even if a question will come from that area, ADR, maybe you have not read it, but it is actually in the syllabus. That is, for me, I saw something new on ADR in my exams. I played with it. I know I did not get anything on that question. But for those who do something called CPM, Certified Professional, what is that CPM, by the way? Mediator. Those who did mediation, maybe they had something on that particular question. So all I can say, just focus on your course outline and you'll be fine. However, for oral exam, because you see this is a three-way exam, whereby you will have to do project work, you will have to do orals, you will have now to do bar exam. Bar exams is only 60 marks. So you are starting passing your bar from the project work, from the orals, and then finally bar exam. Such that now orals is unique on its way. So that one, if I'm telling you that just keep your head on your course outline, I am lying to you. Because there you'll be asked anything from anywhere. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Donna, maybe I'll go before you, then maybe you'll cap it off. Yeah, Faith, what I can say about that is that one thing I can tell is that 90% of the questions that you'll get will be from your course outline. But one thing that I've come to realize is that law is so broad. I might decide to teach you something on commercial litigation and leave out a few things because of reasons that maybe you do not know about. For us, we did commercial litigation and we thought that we had read everything. But then we just got to realize that we had not read everything. But one thing I can promise you that in that paper, 90% of what is there is what we had read. Now, sometimes the things that will come, and maybe they might look very foreign, but as Angela said, if you focus on that, what you have, the course outline, you will have enough marks to pass that particular exam. Now, the reason why these new things come in, the new in quotes, is because law is so broad. Sometimes these guys teach and they fail to focus on that particular part. And then that particular thing comes and you feel like it's very new. So please focus on the course outline, read as much as possible before branching out into anything else that is outside the course outline. Because again, these guys work together. They are not people who work so independently to the fact that CLE does not even know what Kenya School of Law is teaching. How I don't know if that's the case, but they work together. So focus on the course outline, at least know it and know it properly. If anything comes in, it could be different or new, but you will have 90% with you anyway. Donna?
I concur with what both Daniel and Angelo have said. So we were told actually by the lecturers that they forward the course outlines to the CLE people for them to set exams from that. So I believe there's nothing that will be brought from the moon. It's okay. Whatever will come should be what is around the course outline. Maybe the problem comes in now when it's an application question and you won't understand that actually this is the thing, this is the particular topic that is being referred to. But then when you sit back and look at it, you'll find that it dawns back to that particular topic in the course outline. So just focus on your course outline. As a lawyer, they say you have to read, so read and read broad for orals mostly. But for CLE, focus before you go to read on a particular thing. Make sure you've understood what's in your course outline. That's all I can add.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I think that's okay. Oje?
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much.
Welcome, no problem. Is there another hand that is raised? Maybe I'm not able to see it. Angela, able to see any other hand?
No, not on my end.
Okay, guys. Any other question? Anyone who has a question? Yes, Naomi.
I had posted it in the group, but not a big one. But I was asking, like, what should we include while we are writing our pupillage? Like when you're asking for pupillage.
Okay. Donna, do you want to answer that?
Could you pardon the question? Check more.
When we'll be writing to these law firms requesting for pupillage, like what should be the contents of these? Like, I have done this, or like what should I include in that? Okay, I know it's kind of, but what should I include?
Okay, honestly, I will not give you the best advice on this because for me, my pupillage I secured from the way Dana said, when you know someone who knows someone and they make calls, so I never made an application. The only application I did was for some 2 big law firms, but nikapata rejection zote, so I am not in the correct position to advise you on this, unfortunately.
Okay, understood. Naomi, I think for me, one thing I can tell you is, man, the guys who have written the best applications and they got rejections, and I've written some applications which I thought were the best, and I got rejected. So I don't think I'm in a position to tell you that this is exactly what you need to write. This is one you have to leave out. But I think you should write what would make sense to you if you're the person reviewing that particular application. And sometimes you'll get guys who have, if you look at the application and you look at yours, you're like, what? How did they even get it? People are so different. You never really know what someone is looking for. You know, I'm not telling you to just write everything and nothing, but just write something that, you know, why you are making an application to that particular institution, and you know, does it fall within your purpose, and have you wanted to work for them, and the reason why you've wanted to do that. Now, maybe in my opinion, that would look like it's a good thing. Lawyers are so different. That those who like bluffing, that those who like the truth, that those who like the people to lie and to lie well. That people, it's so different. But I think one thing that you can always go with is integrity. Just say the truth, where you're coming from and why you are making an application to that particular institution, and add a few things here and there that in your opinion would work. And you know, maybe if the professionals who write application, maybe you can consult them. But in my opinion, I think it's really different. But just don't write everything and everything. Write something that you think makes sense. Most probably the reason as to why you're making an application to that particular firm. What's behind it for you? Angelo?
Thank you, Daniel. Thank you, Odur. For me, I don't know. I maybe I'm among few people who are lucky because most of my applications I was able to at least get the first interview. Because by the way, some firms you will start even doing your bar exams before actually sitting for bar exams, because they will call you. You will be tested, written exams, and things like that. So some of you, by the way, you will be lucky. You'll do your bar exams early. So that aside, on your question specifically, for me, it is normal introduction. Then the board will include things that you have done before. I have done this, I have done this, I have done internship here. Then you add the quality, what have you learned from that particular internship or that work, even including your judicial attachment. Yeah, what value did it add to you? What is going to make you stand out among other applicants? So there is no magic about it. Some firms also are biased. Some you will see maybe from the notice board in a school, they will specifically say they want students from Strathmore or students from UON. Others would say they want B+ and above. Others would say they want A-. So it is not our choice anyway. Okay. So, but you just try your best in that particular application letter that you draw. That's all. Experiences, what you have done in the middle. That is what I can say. There is no way to do it. Just ensure that your CV is okay. Please try now to learn how to draft the best CV, because others will go straight to your CV. They will not want to see anything else. So that's what I can say. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. Naomi?
That suffices. Thank you.
Okay. Any other question, guys? Anyone with a question? Please just be free. You can ask anything.
Then Daniel, we have one person.
Okay.
His or her name is Ntongai Moses. Maybe he's now a gentleman. We haven't had the members of the other gender. Maybe Moses, you can proceed.
Yes, thank you for some of the nuggets that you've shared, you and your colleagues. Mine is on the structure of this mentorship. Is it going to be like a specific day designated to a specific subject, or will it just be one of a session that, you know, people can just throw questions and get the advice that they need? Or are we going to like delve into like the flesh of, you know, commercial transaction, conveyancing, stuff like that? Thank you.
Thank you. I think that was very clear. Tongai, one thing that we've realized is that time sometimes is a problem, and it moves so quickly. And so our plan and what we've always done over the years is that we usually let you guys know what we are going to discuss before the discussions happen. So normally before orals, what we do is we come here and we do role plays, for lack of a better word, where we are the panel, we are the panelists, and you are the students. And so we just pick, or you guys will raise up your hand, and randomly anyone of you could be the one answering our questions. And so we just shoot questions from every direction, and this particular person answers the way they think it's right. Now, the reason as to why we do this is just to build confidence. We really hope, and we do our best to ensure that we don't actually diminish or affect that confidence. We do our best to be gentle and to ensure that what we're doing is building confidence and not affecting it in a negative way. So that is always the first part of this mentorship. We have orals. We just have orals where we ask questions, and I ask a question, Angelo will ask, Donna will ask, and this one particular person answers these questions. And just to make it look like it's orals. Again, the reason as to why we do that again is just to ensure that if there are mistakes that can be made, we make all those mistakes here, so that when we go before the panelists, the real exams, then at least that on Thursday I had a session, and Daniel and Angelo and Donna were asking me questions, and I said this, this was my answer, and that was not right. Why was it not right? Because I started with I don't know, that's a very hard question. Pass. Let's go to the next. So we just try as much as possible to polish our answers and to polish how we answer to questions during orals. That's what we usually do in the first session. Now, the donors group was lucky enough. I think for them, we started with going through unit by units. And so we started with, we went through criminal litigation, we went through civil litigation. I don't know if we're able to go through all the units, but we really tried our best to look into the meat and to go deep into these units and understand them. But maybe something that we can do for you guys this year is to just have a run through. So maybe we'd have one Saturday where I just come in and have a run through with you guys on conveyancing. So from the first topic to the last topic, we just have a run through with you where I'll tell you guys, if the first topic is on due diligence or is on duties of the advocates or whatever, this is how it goes. This is what is expected from you. These are some of the duties of this advocate. These are some of the duties. So we just move quickly, but ensure that at least we are leaving you guys with ideas on what is conveyancing and how does it go. And we try as much as possible to talk about things that are quite important. We note them and we tell you on what you need to read on further. So we are planning to have that particular session, and so we'll be able to have a run through and we will go through each and every unit so that you guys are comfortable, and even as you're reading, you know what to focus on, and what things that maybe don't make sense now really mean, and what these units are all about. So we will have that session with you, but I can promise you we won't go into each and every topic. It will be a run through, because before you know it, Ntongai, it will be second term. And time moves so fast. Before you know it, it's third term. Before you know it, you're doing exams. And so we found that going through the units, going into the mid, takes a very long time, and it's not really possible for us to cover everything. So we'll have a run through into each and every unit. Then after orals, what we usually do is we focus on exams, and what we do is we go back into past papers. And so if today we are going to have conveyancing, we are going to revise this paper, I'd tell you probably on Monday that next Saturday we are going to focus on conveyancing. The paper that we'll be revising is the 2019 paper, April or December or September. Please go through it before that session, so that when we meet during that session, all we'll be doing is to go through that paper and ensure that we answer every question. And we do this with you. It's an interactive session. We understand that you are also students. We understand that you're also lawyers who understand. And so answers will come from you. Answers will come from us. We will try our best to direct you towards the right answer, but we'll have a debate. We will all go through the paper and we'll all try to answer those particular questions. Then after that, I bet you do your exams. And before the exams are done, we have, again, another session where we talk to you guys about exams, what worked for us, how we were able to do these exams, and, what are the secrets here and there. What can you do in the morning if you're feeling anxious, and what is this all about? What are they trying to? So just that last lap before you go into your exams, and just sharing with you to reduce that anxiety. So basically that is it. We won't go deep into the meat, but we will have a run through. At least that we will do. Ntongai?
Yeah, thank you for my question has been answered. Yeah.
Okay, welcome. So yeah, that's what we will do here. Angelo, can you see any other question, or can you see any other person, or do you want to add on to my answer? You can.
Yeah, I can't see any hand. Yeah, but you have said everything, Daniel. Yeah, OJ hands is up. But what I can add is to say that encourage your colleagues to join. Our first session last time we had over 382 or 383. Our first session this year is 65, 64. Just to encourage you to join in. Let us learn together. You will enjoy it. Some people will attest. Maybe over 80% of the questions that were asked last time, we did them here. But specifically, we cannot say that the questions that we are asking you, Moses, are the ones that will come to you, or are the ones that will be asked. Maybe they will be asked to you, to your colleague. Okay, but most of the time it is repetitive. So that's all. I hope we will have a smooth year. We will be praying for you. OJ, maybe you can proceed. I believe we still have a few minutes. We still have some time.
My question is on farm work. Like, what advice would you give us on maybe how we can gather a lot of marks in our farm works? Yeah.
Thank you, Donna.
Okay, when it comes to project, you guys have to disagree to agree. It will be tough because you'll have this opinion, the other person has that opinion. Mtakosana, mtalimana, and all that. But in the end, you guys must agree. So for us, okay, I'll just give you my perspective from what we did. We used to meet. We used to meet at night, and then at some point, once we were done with the questions, we decided to start meeting physically, just to ensure that whatever we had in the final, like, okay, what we would submit finally, was what we had agreed on. That was after several disagreements now in the last days. So we cooperated. So make sure you have cooperative farm members, because there are those who will not cooperate, will even go and ask that they want to ask the admin that they want to leave the group, all that. So just cooperate and go through the work pamoja before you submit. Plus there's some lecturers who are very petty ikikuja kwa kuangalia minutes. For us, for example, LPM, people got 0s and 4 because of minutes. So I think it's just cooperation na kuelewana. Yeah. And in the end, you must make sure that whatever you're going to submit finally is what all of you have agreed on. That's all I can say for now.
Yeah, and yeah, I think even for us, one thing that we really did was to try and work together. One thing that I can really advise you guys not to do is to give, questions or partition units to each other. It's very dangerous because you might find that the person who you gave conveyancing are those guys who like waiting until last minute, and so they send their work at 6 p.m. and you're supposed to deliver this work at school tomorrow at 7. You go through this work and you're like, what is this? This is crazy. This is mad. I mean, we can't get anything from this. So one thing that I can tell you guys that you should do is all of you guys should go through each and every unit. You should work together in every unit. Don't do that thing of, oh, you give this person this, you give that person that, you give that person that, they'll do it, they'll take care of this, or he told you that, he knows how to do civil litigation, or he answers questions in class. Let me tell you, there are some questions that someone who really knows how to answer questions in class will answer, and you're like, no, that's not the answer. But the only way you'll bring them back into the right answer is if the three of you or all of you work on these questions together. There's something that I might miss, even though I know conversing so much, that Angelo knows. Okay, but it's just because I missed one thing. There's something that I didn't see. You see, the way sometimes questions are tricky. They ask you this, but it happened then. But for me, when I'm answering it not having into consideration that the fact that they say this question happened at this particular time. And so I missed something. Then you guys end up failing, all of you, just because I said I'm not conversing, yet I didn't give you guys all the marks. So one thing, and what I also done, I said, work together. Don't give roles to people, don't give units to people and wait for them to deliver. I can tell you, people can let you down. So it's a group work. Try and get ways of working together. You'll find that maybe 6 of you are so okay working together. There are these 2 people who, they just don't like working with you guys. They're in, they're out, they're just so different. The 6 of you can sit down, do your best. Again, try as much as possible to bring these other 2 people in, but I can tell you that you're stronger together than if you decide to do things apart. So what you can underline, the upshot of this, work together. All of you work together and ensure that whatever you are bringing or, giving the lecture at the end of the day is something that I know what is there. Angelo knows what is there. Donna knows what is there. And we didn't just give this job to Daniel, and Daniel is bringing to school his personal job or what he thinks is right. So work together, basically. And even if 3 or 4 people are working on a particular question, ensure that they tell you guys that we've looked at it, we've discussed it, this is our answer. And they tell you this early enough so that you guys are able to have corrections. There are people who will disagree. There are people who will be very hard to work with. For those who you can work with, the 6 or the 7 people, work together with them. And after you're ready, come, bring these other guys who are remaining, these 2, try as much as possible to bring them in, explain what the 7 of you guys think is right to them, and have them understand what you guys are doing, and it will be better. But you're stronger together than apart. Angelo?
Yes, that was a very good question, OJ, because farm work, you're actually going to meet great people. you will also meet worse people that you will never want to meet again. Because what Daniel was saying is true. People will let you down. Personally, in my farm, we ensure that if, let's say, it is commercial, we actually divide, let's say, as per question or 2 people to do 1 question, because you see there you are 9 or 10, so there's a possibility that 2 people will do 1 question or even 3, depending with the unit. Okay, but that is after we have all discussed from question 1 to the last question. Don't say Angelo criminal, Daniel conveyancing, Odur, Donna professional ethics. Don't do that. They will let you down. During our time, there was our colleagues from Strathmore, maybe they are 5 or 4. They will say, the 3 of you have no quorum, or you have no locus. So they can meet separately there, and then they will do the work, and then they will bring. No, this is supposed to be a teamwork. That is what is being examined. Teamwork. Si ati wewe unajua sana than the rest of the people. Okay, you can say that you know, but itakupita tu. Then finally, ask for help. Okay, after look for someone. Last time we informed people, maybe if you have questions on project, just let us know. Okay, we will assist wherever, or you approach, like, let's say people personally say that now you don't produce, let's say, the same work. We can tell, okay, just contact Daniel or contact Odur, then they will be able to assist, because this is very important marks. You getting 18 out of 20, very, very important. Yeah, that's all I can say. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, so reach out and work together. Oje?
Yes, thank you. That answers my question.
Sawa. And if you're to reach out to us, please reach out to us. One thing that we usually do, and even Angelo knows, is that we don't discuss those questions here, because we understand and we respect the integrity of the institution. But if you reach out to me separately, if you said chat to me and ask me, Daniel, there's this question, what do you think about it? We will have a discussion. Yeah, so we won't have those discussions here, but yeah, we can talk privately and see how we can help. There's another hand that is raised. I think, Angelo, you can see it. I can't.
Yeah, it is Nekesa. Some people raised their hands before. Don't take it down. We still have some time. Nekesa, you can take it away. And those who had raised their hands, please come back. No one is intimidating anyone here. Yes, Nekesa. Then Kebongo, you will just follow. Nekesa, are you there? Your hand was up. Okay, Kebongo Katza, please proceed.
Good evening. I wanted to ask about the minutes, but I see that you are one of your, do I call her senior because she has passed? Donna has answered. I've seen she has answered that it only applies to the project work. I wanted to ask about the minutes.
Okay, Donna.
I've already addressed that in the charts. The minutes are only supposed to be written for project work. The ones that you'll submit to the project, it's only for project work meetings. Yeah.
Okay, I believe that is answered, and I also believe maybe you are required to at least have 6 meetings I hope that is still the case. There are always guidelines and rules. So you must have had at least 6 meetings for one unit. I believe you will study the rules when the project work is out. Your question is answered, Kadza?
Yes, thank you.
All right. Nekesa, your hand was up and it has disappeared. Yes, please proceed, unmute.
Good evening. I don't know if I'm the one who is being referred to because I don't know what I've saved myself. But just a follow-up question to Madam Odor about the minutes. She said something about people failing because of how they present their minutes. I don't know if my question is whether they fail because of how they write their minutes, or is it because of failing to present those minutes, or what's the issue? Then another question to maybe all of you. If, for example, one member for example, you guys are 9, then out of 9, 8 members agree to go with a certain direction, and one member refuses. So, and she completely refuses, she or he, of course, completely refuses to agree with you, despite the fact that maybe you're giving out argumentative reasons. What happens? What should you do as a member? Because you want to include them, but then they are refusing to side with you people. Because at the end of the day, there must be a solution to everything. So in such a situation, what do you do? Thank you.
Okay. Donna?
Okay, for your first question on the minutes, people fail because there's I don't know if I know you will definitely experience it. When it comes to writing minutes, it's very rare that you will write minutes when you people are meeting unless you're very diligent, because inafikanga point umechoka. So there are people who plagiarized minutes. So by plagiarizing, probably you take the minutes from the previous cohort and then you try to edit names kidogo, some new names that are not members of the firm have been left, or the minutes for this day look same as the minutes for the next time you're meeting. So I think those are the things that cost them. And some lecturers are okay, they're humans. That's one, they're humans, and some tend to be petty. And that in a way cost them, because it sucks that you do some very legit work and you end up failing on the basis of the minutes. So just don't plagiarize minutes, and make sure you have all the 6, at least 6, so you can have 7, 8, 9, 10, but make sure you have at least 6 meeting minutes. Yeah, that's it for your first question. And for the second question, on when one person does not agree and the others agree, that will tend to happen a lot. But just like litigation, project work must come to an end. You will not decide not to finish the work because one person is disagreeing. Itabidi tu muweke the point. Okay, for us, our family, they used to say, let the majority have their way. That's what we were doing for some where there were disagreements, and we didn't do bad. We were not badly off with the project work. So just you guys must finish the project work and you must finish on time. So the earlier you understand each other, the better. Plus, if you're this one person who is always dragging the group behind, sometimes you have to concede, because you'll try to make your point understandable, but hakuna, of all the 9 people, of all the 8 people, wote wanaona haingii. At some point you may just have to concede, because you'll find it's just one thing that may not cost you much, the firm much. Yeah, I hope I've answered your question.
Yeah, sure, thank you.
Yeah, so I think, yeah, just like litigation, just to quote Donna again, project work must come to an end, and sometimes the majority will carry the day. Yeah, so please ensure that your project work comes to an end. Don't discuss it until after KSL. And yeah, you have to get answers, and so sometimes the majority will carry the day. Angela, you want to add?
No, I have nothing to add. That's all.
Nice. Any other hand that is raised? Any other raised hand?
I can't see any. We had a few before.
Guys, please don't feel intimidated. You can ask any question. It's, moving forward, we'll just be focusing on, understanding the legal aspects of KSL. So at least today we can have a conversation. So if you have a question, this is your chance to ask. Any other questions from the rest of you? Please, we don't want to cut anyone out. We don't want to leave anyone out. Any of you know what happens during orals? Any of you know how that goes and how it works and how you get to know the time that you're supposed to appear and who you're appearing before? Any of you? Now that we have no answers, if you have no questions, maybe you can get answers. Any of you know how that happens? Maybe you can inform the rest. Okay, no hand is raised. Yeah, so maybe that's something that we can tackle before we close. Then maybe you can have a last question from you guys, then be able to proceed. So normally for orals, what happens is that you guys will get a list informing you of when you're supposed to appear. And that list will tell you the date that you're supposed to appear and the time. So say that you are appearing in the morning or you are appearing in the afternoon. So you'll get to know when. So when you come to school, you guys will be seated in a particular hall, and you guys will be called one by one to rooms where you'll find probably 4 or 3 lecturers waiting for you. When you go into the room, they'll start asking you questions on different topics. Sometimes they tend to focus on the topics that they teach, and sometimes they tend to, ask questions broadly from any unit that they decide to ask questions from on that particular day. Then after you are asked questions and you've answered, they record the marks for you. Of course, you won't know about it until the results are out, but immediately you're done answering the questions, I believe that as a matter of courtesy, you'll excuse yourself and leave, then they'll call the next person who will also come in and go through the same thing. So sometimes it's hard to know who you are appearing before, but I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. But yeah, there are people who have ways of knowing who they're going to appear before. But I think this only happens after the first few people have gone in, and now rumors is floating around on who you're appearing before, and so you at least you have an idea. Yeah. Now these guys don't ask the same questions. Sometimes they tend to ask the same questions every day, but sometimes the questions are different after each and every session, just to make it fair, so that you don't have one lecturer sounding like a gong asking the same question from Monday to Friday. They tend to move around, and basically the intention is just to know whether Do you understand what's going on? Are you ready to do your exams and everything else? What are your oral skills and all that stuff? So yeah, that's how it goes for those who didn't know how orals happen. Any questions? Any question before we close? Any question from any of you? Please feel free to ask. Don't be shy. There's no need to be. Yeah, so now I see there's no question. So we are planning on how we are going to take you guys through the units, how we are going to divide ourselves and, see who is going to do what. But I'll let you know early enough so that you know when these classes are starting and so that you are also able to prepare yourself. Now, please, one thing that we'd like to encourage is that let's have interactive sessions. Please don't be worried about what I'll say or what Donna will say or what Angelo will say. Just ask your question. You'd rather get an answer now than keep quiet and not have an answer at all. So take advantage of these sessions and ask the question that you have, any question that you have, any question whatsoever, so that we don't have a lot of questions on the side, but we have no questions. You see, when you ask that question here, then even the rest are able to, benefit from that particular question that you've asked. Okay, so if there are no other anxieties or matters to be discussed, again, you can ask. You can ask. You can ask. I know there are so many rumors that probably you've heard about this lecturer. This lecturer is like this, like that. This lecturer is like this, like that. Now, I'd like to tell you that those rumors are actually true if you believe them, or not true at all if you decide not to believe them. So please just try as much as possible to have your own experience. Just be ready, just be open-minded to see how it will work for you. Some of the people will say some of them are not easy to work with, but maybe you'll find your way around it. So please, let's focus on making our own stories. Let's focus on what we can control. Let's just focus on doing our best. And I believe that this journey will be a good journey. The reason why we're having this session, for example, is not to, tell you that, this thing is so hard, to the fact that you have to have an inaugural session just to discuss how it's going to be. This thing is crazy. No, we know that is what you think, and we are here to, help you deal with that particular anxiety, because it should not even exist at all. Maybe here and there because of issues that maybe you do not know, but this is something that is doable, and you can actually do it. There are myths that you will hear about. Please, if there's any clarification that you need, you can always reach out to us. You can reach out to me, Donna, Angelo. We have Gitari, Victoria. We are so many. We have Elim. We have we have a number of guys, and these guys will be coming in. Please, you will not be hearing my voice every day or Angelo's or Donna's voice every day. We'll have different facilitators coming in to tackle different units, and I believe that you guys are going to have a good time. But please be interactive. That's something that is very encouraging. I think Donna's class was quite interactive. We got to learn so much from them, and so they were also able to learn so much from us. Please be interactive. Let's talk, let's chat, let's know each other. Ask your question, give us your answer, let us know what you think. Let us work together, and I think it's going to be okay. Please just be free. It's a free session. Just be free and speak out whatever is in your mind, whatever you think. We should have as an answer to a particular question. Also, be free to ask whatever question that you have. Yeah, I think that's it from me. Donna, any last words?
Okay, for me, what I can tell you people, mtakuwa sawa. You've done LLB and you guys will be okay. I think that's what kept me going throughout the period. That's something I was told by several people, including Kina Daniel, and just listening to others. You'll be okay. It's an experience that almost every advocate lazima apitie. So take it as an experience. Give it your best shot. Itakuwa sawa. ASL is not hard. It is just a lot, but it's not hard. You guys will do it.
Thank you. Short but clear and sweet. Angelo?
Yes, equally, mine will be short because I know we'll be interacting a lot. Just believe in yourself. I know you're answer. And if you believe that you can do it, then you will do it. Don't listen to all this negativity, CLE, CLE, that. No. It's something that can be done, and that is why we are here today. So be humble. Again, be humble. It really needs that. Okay, not too humble, but just be humble for the sake of CLE, and all shall be well. So we'll be interacting a lot until you do your bar exams. We'll be here for you. So in case someone have a question or anything, you can reach out to Daniel or me or Odur or members of our team. So that's all, Daniel. Thank you.
Again, short and clear and sweet. Guys, mtakuwa sawa. Mtakuwa sawa, msijali. Mtakuwa sawa. You'll be fine. And yes, as Angelo has also reiterated, this is something that is doable and you can do it. Just let's focus on what we can control, on what we can do. Yes, it could be a hill, an uphill, but you guys will be able to do it. It's something that has been done and you guys can do it. That's what I want you guys to know. You guys can do it. You can do it. You can do it. It's not rocket science. You can do it. So please just have that in mind and just put in the work, and I believe it shall be well. Aya, any of you want to pray for us before we finish and call it a day, or rather a night? Go ahead, Willis.
Okay, first of all, let me say thank you guys for taking us through that beautiful orientation. At least you have demystified what we came too anxious with a lot of fear. Now we are easy. Okay, without saying much, let us pray. Thank you, Lord, for this evening. Thank you for our brothers and sisters who has made our life to be a little bit comfortable as we start this journey in the Kenya School of Law. Pray that you may give us the strength, give us the energy, help us to have favor in our studies, good health, and ability to grasp what we are being taught. At the end of the day, to put everything and to remember everything that we have learned. Give us the ability also to put effort that is equal enough to push us through. At the end of the season, we shall always be grateful and shall thank your name. Be with us this evening as we depart to bed. Until another day we shall meet, we shall always thank your name, for this is our humble prayer in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you so much, Willis. Thank you.
Amen.
May God bless you. Yes? You want to say something, Angela?
No, I was just saying amen, amen.
Amen. Amen. Okay, guys. Guys, bye. See you another time. I'll communicate on what's coming up and what's next. Please, we are around, as Angela said and as Donna said, we are here to work with you through this journey, and it's because we understand. So please, we don't owe you anything. You don't owe us anything. It is okay. It is fine. We'll work together. We understand, and we are committed to work together with you, no matter whatever it is. Please reach out if you're feeling anxious. If you have this particular question, if whatever it's happening, reach out to us, and we'll be able to work together. Now, for those who have not joined, you can reach out to them, let them know about this session, so that they're able to help each other, and let's basically just work together. Again, just to insist, please, let's be interactive. Let's be interactive. Let's be free. Let's be open. Let's speak. Let's speak. We are really interested in hearing from you, your feedback, and what you guys think is the answer, and this, the questions that you have and everything else. It has to be two-sided. It has to be two-sided. Let's learn together. basically. Good night, guys. Sleep well and see you again next time. Bye.
Good night. Thank you.
Thank you, brothers and sisters. Good night.